You have the controls.
What's up guys, Maverick checking in with another video. This time we're going to learn how to use the Hellfire in the Kiowa. Let's get started. Alright, here we are with 4 targets in front of us. Let's get the weapons set up. First thing we're going to do is turn on the master arm and then arm the laser. You can do these steps last if you want to be extra safe, but for the purpose of this video I'll chuck them on now. Next we're going to turn on our mast mounted sight, our MMS, and press the MMS manual slave mode button to enter into a ground stabilized picture feed. We can now slew the camera around using our MMS line of sight LOS slew keys. We can then zoom by pressing our MMS field of view narrow toggle or MMS wide toggle switches. Now that we have the target in our sights, we'll go ahead and select our laser code by pressing the top left button on the co-pilot's MFD. Pressing it once will select code alpha, which is defaulted to 16888. And we can keep pressing it to cycle through the different codes available. We're going to use alpha for this demonstration. Now we're going to select our weapons by pressing the weapon select switch in whichever direction we have the weapons loaded on. We have Hellfires loaded on both sides of the aircraft, so we can press weapon select left or right. But if you were flying with a mixed loadout, you would move the weapon select switch to whichever side you had the Hellfires loaded onto. We'll check our launch parameter is set to manual, and the delivery mode is set to lock on before launch, LOBL, and that our constraints are set to normal, so we have to line up the aircraft with the target to get a good shoot cue. Rather than looking over at the co-pilot screen to see what the MMS is looking at, we can overlay to our display here. If we press the button again, it cycles through forward-looking infrared to off and back to TV again. Now you can see we have the dashed big box around the target, just like we do in the Apache. As soon as we fire the laser and the weapon sees the laser, that's going to change to a solid big box, again just like the Apache, and then we know we're good to fire. Alright, so we press and hold our fire laser button and then confirm we have a good solid big box and press the fire weapon second detent button to fire the missile. Rifle. Big box will then switch back to a dashed box, but that's okay. As long as we're holding down the fire laser button, the laser is still painting the target. It just does this as it's queuing up the next weapon in the sequence. On the right hand side of big box we can see a countdown to impact. Boom! Now all we have to do is repeat the process. We can even fire out multiple weapons. Just make sure you give yourself enough time to move the laser to the next target. Just like that guys, easy money. Okay, now what I'll do quickly is just run through how we change the laser code the weapon is looking for, and also how to change the laser code that the MMS is going to designate on. Now you can do this in the air or on the ground, you just have to make sure that the master arm switch is in the standby position. To change the weapon code, first we press weapon select switch up to enter into the weapons page. We can see here that we have 4 Hellfires loaded and the primary code is Alpha and the alt code is Bravo. We can change this by hitting the pry/alt codes menu on the top right, and that will allow us to enter in one of 8 selections for codes named Alpha to Hotel. So if we wanted to use code Charlie, we would hit C on the keyboard and then enter. Then we would put in D for Delta on our alt code and hit enter again. We can now see that our primary code has changed to Charlie and our alt code is now Delta. To change the codes our mast mounted sight actually designates on, we come to the co-pilot side and hit the MMS code list button and that will display all 8 codes that we can use. To change one, all we do is simply select it by pressing on the MFD, selecting clear, and entering a new code in using the keyboard unit. So select, clear, and then enter a new code and press enter. There you go, guys and gals. I hope this helps. Make sure you hit that like button if you found the video useful. If you did find it useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing out lots of Kiowa videos in the near future. I hope you guys have loads of fun in this amazing machine, and I will see you on the battlefield. Top Gun and volleyball, ladies and gentlemen. I am not Scott Manley. Fly safe.